Hello everyone, I'm John Higgins. This is PNG Tonight. In this program, the Managing Director of Oil Search, Peter Botten, urges Hela to stop tribal fights as he takes over as chairman of the Hela Provincial Hospital Board. The next day, however, the town becomes a battleground. On a positive note, another fine outcome under the banner of public-private partnership with a Koki fish market, and the police commissioner briefed on APEC security operations. Nearly 6 years after attaining full provincial government status, Hela, the new province of the Highlands, appears to have come to the crossroads. The well-thought-out development agendas have apparently been frustrated by internal political ramblings, administrative procrastinations, and further compounded by serious law and order issues, where Tari Town sometimes becomes a battleground for rival tribal factions. But against that backdrop, there have been some headways. Last Thursday, the Managing Director of Oil Search, Peter Botten, assumed his new appointed role as the chairman of the Hela Provincial Hospital Board. One of his appeals to the Hela people was to stop tribal fights. Away from the formalities of conferences and boardrooms, the head of Papua New Guinea's largest company and investor in oil and gas appeared no different, meeting with community leaders of Hela.
Everywhere around the country is a big challenge. Huh?
There will be more of such ahead now that Mr. Botten heads a key governing body in providing health services, the Hela Provincial Hospital Board. Mr. Botten was at the hospital located within the provincial capital, Tari, for the handover of operations by Medicines San France, the team that has been in charge of the operations of the hospital for the last 8 years. This hospital ensures the well-being of 300 plus people of Hela, and this is a new province. The provincial status began in 2010 with the installation of the new Hela Transition Authority. Before that, Hela was the last Papua to the western end of the Southern Highlands province. The land area makes up 10,500 square kilometers. The districts are Koroba Kopeago, Tari Pori, and Koma Magarima. The realization of a new province had been a 35-year struggle led by the late Andrew Waibiria in 1974 and continued by others, including Alfred Kayaba, who made headlines when he dressed as a huli to attend Parliament meeting to highlight the Hela cause.
If I didn't raise it today, then who will?
The people simply felt removed and isolated by Mindi, the provincial headquarters, and wanted their own province. Anderson Aigiru, the governor of the Southern Highlands in 2010, led the then Prime Minister, the Grand Chief, Sir Michael Somare, and other officials to Tari in July of that year for the installation of the new Transition Authority. All of Hela turned out and celebrated. Sir Michael told the people that the benefits from the LNG project would kickstart and propel Hela forward.
Light him today, red him blong, people light makes him all over a corner blong. Hela.
2 years after that, Hela elected its own representatives to the National Parliament for the first time in the 2012 national elections. Anderson Aigiru relinquished the Southern Highlands seat and successfully contested the Hela governor's position. It was exciting, a time of high expectation, but there were pressing challenges ahead.
Now I'm time blow sanabi house man blow hela. Time blow before. Oil gas in stock. Hela you got him Kago, Cobra, oil palm, Tina coffee finish. Now the plus blue you. You na come up with some Kago again that trauma story go come. Every no person blow hela.
6 years on, the news out of Hela has not been so bright. Law and order issues persist. Police and administrative operations have not been expeditious, and a bad dream becomes reality with political ramblings within the province. This led to a court battle over the governor's position. Andrew Waibiria would now turn in his grave in total disgust. But in March this year, some refreshing news, something Waibiria would have wanted.
We work in partnership, but we're also building something special here.
It's a big news, good news for Hela. They anticipate that with Peter Botton comes All Sage Foundation and other stakeholders coming on board to help the Hela Provincial Hospital. They expect a lot of development.
Oil Search and its community initiative organization, the Oil Search Foundation, signed 2 public-private partnership agreements under health to support the government's delivery of life-saving services in Hela. The foundation will provide technical expertise in drugs, supply, support human resource and financial functions, among others.
We have 2 challenges. Hela is now a level 5 provincial hospital. That's a huge challenge. It's a huge achievement. We also have a challenge that MSF is leaving, and there is a transition that the hospital must make, the staff must make, not just to replace MSF, but to build the hospital into a proper, highly efficient level 5 hospital that services the people of Hela province.
Wearing his cap as Oil Search MD, Mr. Botton told the people who had gathered that a key element to the success of the company has been its good relationship with communities and the government. Under the public-partner partnership, Mr. Botton said respective skills from Oil Search and Waigani are leveraged to deliver meaningful social and infrastructural developments. For Hela Hospital, recruitments have begun to fill some 200 positions needed to offset the high level of service required. One of the priorities of the hospital board is to ensure that all hospital equipment are functional and operated by a high caliber of staff.
I would also say, though, that the people of Hela must look after our people who work at the hospital, look after the hospital itself. This is a place of safety. This is a place where people come when they're desperate. This is not a place where tribal fights take place. Look after our staff, look after our people, and then they will give you better services.
The chairman of the Hela Provincial Hospital Board and managing director of Oil Search, Peter Botton. Only if Mr. Botton knew what would happen the next day in the Hela capital. Warring tribesmen from nearby used Tari town as the battleground. It forced businesses to close and the suspension of services, including flights. This is PNG Tonight. After the break, another report in keeping with the spirit of public-private partnership, the development of the Koki Fish Market in the national capital.